We're here to send a message to Tim Hortons, the corporate owners that took in $3 billion revenue last year, that they should enforce fairness for every worker of every Tim Hortons location in this province.
A number of protests across Ontario outside Tim Hortons locations today after some franchises have opted to remove paid breaks and cut some employee benefits. They say it's because of the minimum wage increases. Well, it's not just the Canadian coffee shop that's making changes here at City News. We've received numerous emails and messages from people who work in the retail, grocery and customer service sectors. They've also seen their hours cut, some going from full-time to part-time and losing out on their benefits. But one employment relations expert says these changes aren't anything new, and this issue is simply magnifying the reality for low-wage workers.
It's happening all the time. It was happening before the minimum wage was brought in, and it's happening now while it's being implemented. People are associating with the minimum wage increase, but I bet if you would have had 6 months ago an open forum call for people to tell you their stories about how employers have done something on scheduling, or they've done something arbitrary on benefits that they used to get, again in this non-unionized private sector, largely service sector space, you would have heard the same stories. The question is, are we hearing more of them because of the minimum wage or not? That you have to wait. You can't sort of decide on call-in shows that it's happening because the minimum wages come in. You need data to be gathered. You need to look back 6 months from now on the data that's accumulated.
Gomez admits that employers were given a somewhat short turnaround time from the province to prepare for the wage increases. He says more time might have given companies an opportunity to be more strategic.
So using the minimum wage as the scapegoat, so to speak, backfired on these employers. And again, I would go back, if they just consulted or if they'd had time not to do the first thing that came into their minds as a response to the minimum wage, but they'd had to negotiate some change with their employees, they actually might have made better decisions, ones that wouldn't have cost them the bad will that consumers seem to be giving a lot of these companies, and just the bad press and the hit on their brand, that these things are hard to undo sometimes.
Now, Gomez says while scaling back full-time workers and increasing part-time workers may be good for accounting, in the long run, it may be detrimental to some companies. And that's because full-time workers are often more loyal and harder working. In Toronto, Janelle Amasa, City News.